Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a faux enamel cloisonné piece. I've rolled out some clay. I'll probably do two pendants. I might just do one, we'll see. And I'm using Cernit Opaline, white opaline. You don't have to use that, you could just use white clay, but I just like the feel of this. So I've rolled my clay onto a number 3 setting on my Atlas 150, 0 being the thickest setting, but I've folded it in half to give it double thickness because you want them to be quite thick. All right, so that's the clay. You'll also need some translucent liquid clay. I'm using Kato. You could use Sculpey, although I've never actually tried to shine Sculpey with a heat gun. I've heard it works, but I haven't personally tried it. So I'm using Kato. You'll need some mica powders. I'm using colours from the Meyspring gemstone collection, which is listed in my Amazon storefront, which I'm still having trouble loading new products, guys. So it's quite annoying. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm using these. I don't know that I'll use all of these colours, but I've got them out. I've got the amethyst, the turquoise blue, the green pyromorphite, and the white chalcedony, or chalcedony, however you say that, in the Meyspring gemstone collection. I've also got some opaque bright white embossing powder. This is listed in my Amazon. And a brush for the liquid clay and another brush for the mica powders, and also some crushed glass. That's also listed in my Amazon storefront. But you'll also need this wire. Now this is 20 gauge square. Can you see it's not rounded, it's squared off, and it's 20 gauge and it's very soft and pliable. I've tried to list it. I'm not sure whether it's gone through or not. I'll check later, but if it hasn't listed, I will just leave a regular link instead of getting it through my Amazon storefront, which of course I won't get any commission, but that's just the way things go. So everything's going to be linked in the pinned comment, and for everything that I use and all the rest of it. I'm going to be using a couple of cutters. These are both Oh Joy Creation cutters, just a simple circle, and then this shape as well. Again, I'll list her shop in the pinned comment. I think that's everything. All right, so first thing first, I'm just going to make myself some room. Oh, you'll need some wire cutters as well, guys, for the wire. So I've got my first piece of clay, and I'm just going to gently press the circle down. I'm not going to cut all the way through at this point. I just want to leave an impression, and it's left a dirty mark, but oh well. I'm just going to make some very simple flower shapes. I'm just going to straighten my wire out a little bit, and you just need tiny pieces. So I'm just going to cut off the first piece. You could do them all different lengths. I like to vary the length of them, and you're just going to hold it at one end and quite simply fold over to make a simple petal shape. Now you can squish them in so they're more pointy at the bottom, or you can leave them a little bit open like that. And I'm just going to place my first one there. Give it a gentle push. You don't want to push it all the way down into the clay, just to make sure it's on there fairly well. All right, and then you just keep cutting little pieces. Fold. And just place them where you think looks good. And this is going to create the channels for the colour, which is the cloisonné part. It's basically where you make channels and fill it with colour. Pop that there like so, and you just keep going round until you filled that circle. Let's put that there. Press it down. Just need to pull some more wire out. Let's make this one a little bit longer. fold it over. That might be a little long, so I'm just going to snip a little bit off. I'm going to pop that there. And that's all you keep doing, guys. You just keep making your little petal shapes until you've filled up the whole area. Let's do a couple of shorter ones. Like so. And it's easy as that, guys. You could make your petals more fancy if you wanted, if you're good at shaping wire. I'm not. I've tried and it looks like a 5-year-old did it, so I'm just sticking to simple. But you know, you could do any shape flower petal if you're able to do that. Alright, so that's all I'm doing, I think. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then what you do is you cut out your piece. Try and line it up. You just do it to give yourself a guideline so the wire doesn't go over. Although I kind of like the wire going over, but if you do that, then you're not going to be able to cut through it. So you'd have to put the wire on after the fact that you've cut it if you wanted the wire to hang over, which I might actually do. We'll see. So cut out your shape. Yes, this wire is going to pop out because it's not deeply embedded into the clay, but we will fix that. Alright, so that's the first piece. And I can hear my dog barking. And I'm just going to grab some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, just to give this a bit of a clean because it did get a bit grubby. Alright, so yeah, this wire is going to pop out. And I thought about it, and it's like, well, I could just bake it like that, and if they pop out, I could just pop them back in and then resin over them afterwards. Or find another way to hold them in, which I'll get to in a minute. So I'm just cleaning this off a little bit, make it look nice and clean. Let's do the other one as well, why not? Let's try and do it a little bit of a different shape maybe. So same thing, just to give you a guideline. Lightly press the, I can talk, the cutter into the wire, into the clay. Now let's get some more wire. Let's see if I can do a slightly different shape. I'm not very good at bending and shaping the wire, guys, into different shapes, but we could make it a little bit different, I guess. I'm still keeping it quite simple. There's got a little bit of a kink there, but not much. And maybe if I got some pliers it would help, but I'm just putting that a little kink in that one. And I'm going to pop that there. Just want to leave room at the top to drill a hole or whatever for a bail. But I'm just going to pop that there like that. And then obviously we need to make the rest of them a little bit smaller because there's not that much clay going across this way. So same thing, might be a little bit too small maybe. We'll see. And that looks good. Let's close this one up a little bit more. So just fiddle around, guys. That's not going to fit there, is it? So I'll put that one there. Another piece cut. Can go there. Let me get a little bit more length off the spool. So you get the general idea, guys. I'll just finish this off on camera, but you get the general idea. So just play around. And then just another piece down there. And there we go. Simple. I'm just going to move this over a little bit. I don't quite like it there. Just shimmy that over a bit. I don't know if I like the look of this flower altogether, to be honest, but looks a bit odd, guys. I'm going to leave that for now, and I'll come back to it just while I figure out how I want to change it up. So let's just go back to this round one, because we're going to be doing the exact same thing. So, you know, put your wire on there how you think looks good. Next step then is the embossing powder. Now this is a simple, quick tutorial. Not complicated at all, but rather effective. So I'm just going to get my embossing powder now and just gently sprinkle that all over. Doesn't matter if it goes on the wire, you can dust it off. But you want to cover the whole piece in embossing powder. And this will add another effect to the final finished look. And I'm just going to gently press to make sure it's stuck on the clay. Like so. And then I'm going to blow on it to remove the excess. Okay, simple as that. So that's that bit. Next bit then, your mica powders, whatever colours you want to use. I'm going with the ones I already told you. And we're just now going to... Oh, there's a bit of a hair hanging off on this one, which is annoying. Whoops. Just now going to gently fill in. I'm going to get a different brush, guys. That's got a strand hanging off it. It's irritating me. You're just going to literally fill in those petals. You can go in the middle if you want. You can bring the colour outside of the petals if you want to. Want to go fairly dark in the centre. Like so. Just going to add a bit more. Just try and darken it a little bit. Make sure you pat your brush onto the clay to make sure that mica powder's sitting in there fairly well. Okay, so boop, 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 like that. Give it a bit of a wipe off because you're going on to your next colour now. And I'm going with the turquoise. And then just fill in the rest of the space. And I like to blend the two colours in a little bit like this. So I'm just dragging it over the purple as well and then back up. So I'm just slightly blending the colours like this. And that's really all there is to it until it comes out of the oven. Oh no, tell a lie, there's one more step to go. Derp, derp, derp. Okay. So I'm just going to give this another little press down. I'm just going to blow off the excess, like so. And then you can go back and decide if you want to add more. So I want to add a little bit more purple, I think, just to darken it up a bit again. So that's really it, guys. I don't mind if I get a little bit, on the outside of the petals. It's fine. And there we go. Now, what you could do now, and this is what I have done before, but I prefer the way I'm going to do it. I think it looks a little bit better because I don't really like the look of resin on this. It doesn't make it look very enamel-y. So what I decided to do then, instead of baking it like that and hoping these bits of wire don't fall out, I'm going to seal it in now, if I can find my brush. I'm going to seal it in now with liquid clay. And I'm also going to bring over my crushed glass pieces. Well, I'll leave them there for a second. All right, so I'm just going to start in the centre first. I'm going to get a nice dollop of it and just kind of dribble it in the centre like this. I want it quite deep because now I'm going to get my crushed glass pieces, and you can decide what colour you want to put on there. I think I'll go with this really nice bright green colour. Just get a little scoop and boop it on there. Doesn't matter if it spills, you can just drag it over into the centre like so, into that liquid clay. And that's why I wanted it fairly deep, because I want this to hold in there while it's baking. Okay, so that's simple. And you can mush it around and move it around, add a few more little bits of crushed glass. Let me just grab a few with my fingers and boop it on there like that. You could do more than one colour if you wanted. I'm just going to leave it like this, I think. Okay, so that's going to hold in there while it bakes. Smoosh it around a bit. And then you're just going to do the rest of the pendant. Just booping some liquid clay on there. It might move the mica powder around a little bit, but it still looks good because I've done this a few times now. So you're just going straight over the whole piece with a layer of liquid clay. So you're filling everything in, like so. Doesn't have to be perfect at this point. Just as long as you get, the majority of it covered, a nice even layer. So when it's baking, obviously this is going to hold, it's going to cure and it's going to hold the wire in place. And I much prefer that than using resin. That's just my preference. You could do it the other way if you wanted to, but the chances are that the wire will pop out because it's not thick wire. I mean, if you wanted to get the thicker, the deeper wire and embed it into the clay even more, you could do that, but it could still pop. And I just found this to be the easiest way to solve that problem. All right, so I'm going to go and do the rest of this off camera. Just fill the whole piece with liquid clay. I'm going to fiddle around with this one and do the exact same thing. I might use different colours. I'll bake them and I'll come back. I bake these then. So this is what they look like when they come out of the oven. You saw me do this one from start to finish, more or less, other than the little bit of liquid clay you didn't see me do, but you saw me do the first part. So there's that one. And then this one, I went back and rearranged where my petals would be, and you can see for this one I made it a little bit longer, and I actually made it go past the top of the pendant, so that could actually be the bail. And then just the same thing, added some coppery coloured glass chips in there, so you can see what they look like out of the oven. Now it still looks a little cloudy, but that's why you need a heat gun to bring out the shine. So this is my heat gun. It's listed on my Amazon storefront. So I'll quickly let me do this one on camera because this one looks a little cloudier than this one, and then you can see the shine come out. Okay, it's going to be a little bit noisy. So it takes a couple of minutes, guys. The shine's starting to come through. I'm going to do the rest off camera because you saw what I did. I'm just going to do it until that shine comes through. I'll do it on this one and I'll be back. All right, guys, finished pieces. Like I say, it was just a quick video today. This one I probably went a bit too far with the embossing powder, so it looks a little bit more frosted. But this one, you can see that one, how lovely the shine is on that one. And just another one that I did just to quickly show you. That's got less embossing powder on it. I may have gone a little crazy with that, but you can see how it leaves like almost like a flocked look, speckled. I didn't put as much on this one. But there you go. Faux enamel cloisonné. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye. And I cut my finger. Ouch.